Well, again, we're still on the subject of Skynyrd, and their third album was called Nothing Fancy. Now, if you're talking about listening to it on vinyl, track 1, side 1, or track 1, if it's on CD, is called Saturday Night Special. And there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of parts in this song, so it might take 2 or 3 videos, so if you can be bothered to wade through it all, that would be great. I'd really appreciate it. But I can't do all in one video. So, first thing you hear is like the hum of the amps, which I think is always a good sign. The Rolling Stones' Brown Sugar is something similar. And then you hear Ronnie Van Zant counting the band, and they play this opening line. Now the opening line is this. Right, that's the first thing you hear. So you've got this B, A, B, and then a D, an A, slide up to the B, same again, up to the E. Right? Now, what's played over that, and the reason you'll probably hear I've got a echo in the guitar, is a guitar line. I think it's Gary Rossington. He plays all the solos, he plays all the lead in this song. So you hear this. Hear that line over the top. Now that's double stops. It's an E and an A slid up to F sharp and a B. Back down. Then a high E that repeats. So you get that line twice, and there's a count of what you would think would be 8, and then the band would come in, but they actually come in on the 8. So the second time, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's Gary's initial solo. Now you may notice all the vibrato in this song is white. All of it he plays like that, you know. You know, it's all played very wide and wailing. So there's that line, which is A up to B. And then a double stop again, this time you're bending the E to F sharp and adding an A in the top. Lay it down. And we're into the song proper. So Ronnie starts singing and the band are playing. Real kind of free type line, and you know, you probably know that you know, the guys in Lynyrd Skynyrd were big fans. So it's double stops again. You know, you get the B and the A, but you get the F sharp and the E underneath it. So it's kind of like an anagram of the opening line like that. But what happens then is it becomes very ominous, you know, which reflects the subject matter of the song. And one of the guitars, I don't know whether it's Alan Collins or Gary Rossington, but one of the guitars starts to play this. Like, just playing that, it feels ominous, to me anyway, right? But they play in harmony. Now, if you know anything about guitar harmony, you'll know that a lot of it is what's called parallel. That means you're playing in thirds, 2 notes apart, and that never deviates. So, for example, if a harmony part was ba 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 ba, the next part would be ba 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 ba. You know, so the notes will always be 2 notes apart. Now, if you applied that principle to this, and you get, let's say it's Alan going. If you want to do that in thirds, you get this. Now that will work, and you'll get it. But it's really twee, you know, it just would not suit the song. So what they do is they play it in fifths, which is absolutely great. I can't think of many other examples of this. So when Alan, let's say Alan's playing the main part, right? Gary plays this. Exactly the same line, exactly the same relationship between the notes, but instead of B and A and D, it's F sharp and E, and an A on the top. Right? After that's been played twice, you get that line, right? And then we're into the chorus, which is Mr. Saturday Night Gun Special, right? And that's played in a real kind of vibey. Right? So it's really, really powerful, and they're just hammering it out. And then on the top you've got this double stop to punctuate it. So that, which is a D and an F sharp, I'm sure you guessed. Now all the solos in this song are played by Gary Rossington. Now Gary played Call Me the Breeze, Don't Ask Me No Questions. He did the dual leads with Alan on I Ain't the One. But I think most of us think that Alan Collins played slightly more of the solos, but this is a Gary one, right? And you really see the kind of, you know, the love of Paul Kossoff and the love of the Albert King huge bends, right? So after the chorus comes Gary's first solo, and he plays this. So we've got Gary plays. So there's Take No Prisoners in that, as you can see. First time is a huge bend from D up to F sharp. So we're obviously still in B, playing off this shape. Well, it looks like you're playing off E because you're at the 12th. And then back to the double stops. And that vibrato. So at this point we've had the intro, that beautiful Gary's first. The verse, the chorus, and Gary's first solo. So stop it there for now, and I'll come back and do Gary's main solo.